messy attic.
And they asked me what I thought, and I used the word death and decay. Right, so what does our content supposed to be like here?
Like you to try to keep us in line, do some substance and whatnot.
Yeah, and then I start cradling my wood. Oh, I'm cradling my... Wow.
Careful. Careful.
Alright, gents, so today we're drinking the Bowmore 15-year-old. It's undoubtedly the most popular whiskey of the core range. You're
that.
dead.
Way!
I'm a subscriber, guys, just so you know. Yes.
Don't start him on dwarfs, because he can't. He's a lovely man. He's got a good soul after you know, when all's said and done. But he can't be trusted on that topic.
Keep it clean.
Making my
Family
dreams
show.
come true. Yeah.
We did. That's hardly dropping the mic, is it?
I'm being baller.
I have adulted
Role model.
correctly.
I'm a role model.
You're a role
I have
model.
I'm a role
adulted correctly.
Face the human.
Sounds like gladiators. Well done it.
What just happened?
I don't know.
You're nice and centred.
I hear the giant sloth is extinct.
Oh, that just happened.
Well, I think it happened some time ago, but I only just found out myself, you know?
I think that's only some hundreds or tens of thousands of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fairly recent history, actually.
Good grief.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on the Victorian times.
Was that starting to play on your mind? You just got over the sloth and the fucking Victorian times kicked into gear.
How you doing?
What do you reckon about this whole industrial revolution? Do you think it'll pan out?
Yeah, how do you think the Industrial Revolution's gone for us? I'm trying to think of something excellent to chat about in the meantime. It didn't go well, Colin. Didn't go well.
Did it not?
Look, I tried to even keep my hair dry for this occasion.
I'm in it. Rodders is almost in there on this one.
Well, they'll be grand.
If I sit there, can you check, see if I'm in?
Fuck off.
Yeah, you will be, look.
For
God's sake.
Oh, stupid wearing a hood.
Yeah, you look like a gnome. But it's better than
Yeah,
than
your
Caesar.
shoulders close. It's literally cutting your arm in half.
Scooch on in, bro.
There we go.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a glass cap. We'll get you one ordered and you'll have an attic glass for yourself. But
Just sort of
Awesome.
serve off of this. This is the high quality.
this is, Rodders loves this. I think it's fucking awful.
When you put it all together, it goes with the wood. It's natural materials. For fuck's sake, it's a good.
It's an old banana crate.
Set.
It's crap. What are you drinking?
Whatever we're drinking.
What do you
Weird.
want, Rodders?
We're drinking.
Oh, I thought you just said a beer. I was
we
like,
just
I don't think that's the point of
We
it.
got water. We're going to drink in this.
Oh, we could have a Bowmore.
Yeah. But we'll drink other stuff. But
Yeah.
just start with
Let's
this, you know?
start with something.
I can't remember which bag is the PE bag now, can you?
It's the perfect one for Dram, this
So
one.
you sent you had Johnny and Katie over a wee while ago.
Yes.
You sent them back where, or anyway, she had it the little 3, 12, 15, 18. We were just doing this the other night. This stuff's supreme.
Yeah, it is.
Supreme.
It's way
Is it that
supreme.
good?
Of the core range, it's
Alright.
totally the best.
What did we have from theirs when we first started?
It's Kat's favourite. It was the Atlantic.
Oh,
The Vault
Atlantic Sea
Edition.
Salt.
I love that Dram.
That's what we've still got some of that somewhere, right?
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, we should put an end to that today.
Somewhere. Yeah.
When I tasted this
That
one for
definitely-
the first time, I didn't really like whiskey very much, and they asked me what I thought, and I used the word death and decay.
Oh.
I now
Why? Don't do
realised.
that.
Well, because at the time all I could taste was the alcohol. Now that I think it's the best thing in the world, things have changed.
You think alcohol's the best thing in the world?
No whiskey,
Oh.
and now I can get the flavours. But at first, just that.
Death and decay.
Ah, it doesn't smell like death and
What
decay
have you
now.
got?
It must be a different.
Oh, let's get a triply.
Oh,
Nice.
Lovely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the attic. Today's guest, we have Kat from Bowmore, Lefroy, wherever she's at this week, we don't know. So, in honour of that, we've got the Bonharbon. Oh, I nearly swore then, did you hear that?
Okay, it doesn't
Bowmore
matter.
15.
we're all friends
Kat
Have a
here.
Dolan's a
wee
whiskey
jam of that,
legend
so-
in her own right.
Oh, whiskey
That's it.
legend.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
done the
Yeah.
intro, we can just talk whatever you want to talk about now.
Yes.
Do you know, I think I can almost smell this.
Oh, really?
Oh, don't give me that. I thought we
The
were
taste is
sort of
back. The
celebrating.
taste is back. The
Yeah.
taste is back, but the nose not yet.
Ah, right.
I can get smoke on the nose. So
Oh,
maybe that's what I'm getting. Maybe a little hint of the peat, but
Should we do a wee splash of the Tokai? There's a
Right.
celebration of your senses being back in order. No, don't worry about that.
What?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll have some of this if nobody else is.
I'm not even on a sip of my Bowmore yet.
Yeah, we're already running a bit chaotic.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try that. Have a little taste of that.
Oh, I
That's-
bet.
that was-
Look, the relevance here is he's been so long without senses. This was one of the earliest things that kicked back into, like, he could actually taste it. So it's like a celebratory, like,
dessert wine, and this is
Join
what
Collins
Bunnahabhain
and-
had as their
sensation.
peated whiskey bottle this year, the Monja Tokai. Did you want some, Rodders?
Oh, your
Why
wee
not?
sippers.
I've brought these because we've got a lot of sipping to do today, on top of the drinking.
There you
Okay.
go. Have a
Thank you,
splook of that.
Thanks.
Splook. I'm starting to sound like Brody again.
Yeah, it's creeping in.
Oh, no.
Too long, does it? Whose glass is this? This is Dave's glass.
Oh,
That's all right. I'll have a drink out of
I've
Dave's
got
glass.
the attic with Col and Rodders.
Ah, nice.
Some
It's at the
generic
Grand Whisky
ones, but-
auction. They're lovely people too.
They are. I like Bo. He's a good
Yeah.
chap. Right. So what is our content supposed to be like
Oh,
here?
like you to try to keep us in line, do some substance and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what we were talking about before. We're going to get into it. None of us are actually. Well, you're still a tour guide. You're still in it.
I am.
But you are very fiercely edging your way towards the door.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, very assertively, very definitely out.
Most of my manners have gone now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're saying some filthy things in the car. That was horrific. That's not how you talk in front of guests.
But I'll tell you what, though, it's not the worst job in the world, is it?
No, it's a lovely
To
job.
be fair, tour
You see
guiding's
what's-
all right. It's just, for me, it just got to be a little bit lack of a challenge. Does that make sense?
I think that's been my problem.
I enjoyed it,
recently.
level with the punters bit, talking with the customers and all that, having a laugh, getting away with, like we said earlier, absolute murder. But it was good. But it's like I say, for me, it just lacked that little bit of a challenge, really.
Once you reached a certain level, there was nowhere else to go with it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the sort of
Except
lead guide and upwards didn't appeal to me.
Sweden.
Sweden.
You can go to Sweden.
I've been
with
to
this.
Sweden a few times with
Oh,
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the name of that cruise?
The Cinderella, the Viking Cinderella. It's the biggest whiskey cruise of the Nordics
Is it?
because the duty-free market in the Nordics is huge, of course.
Mm.
So I went over to represent Beam Suntory as a whole for 2 whiskey cruises on the Bowmore special launch, the PX one. I went to the Gothenburg Whiskey Fair. And I got myself a fair few Swedish friends.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But
I got
So
invited
you
to
were
Norway a couple
specifically
of
invited.
times.
I was specifically
I like Norway. I got invited there for some blokes that the big group of them that came over. It was the place I went back in the day when I was in the army, so I kind of knew where they were from, vaguely remembering bits of it. But it's nice. Some really good people, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? It's some of the groups that you had over. You know what? Some of them were annoying as hell. Weren't they? Where they just had so much to drink, and you knew that it got to a stage where you knew that by the end of the day they were coming in to do a warehouse tasting at 3:30. But you knew they'd had so much to drink prior to that they weren't going to appreciate it. They're going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun, but the actual whiskies itself, you knew they weren't going to enjoy it.
I kind of like those tastings though. I like the tastings where it looks so that we're not really talking the whiskey. We will drink the whiskey and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and just nobody here is going to care about the little fussy nuances that just get down your throat.
I've got this thing, I've done it for a long time anyway, when people are actually coming into the warehouse with me and they're all here and I'm like, right, to be honest guys, I'm about the worst person that you could ask to do a
What an
tasting
introduction.
with. Yeah, because I don't like talking about whiskey tasting notes. If anyone wants them, I'll add them. Otherwise, let's just talk about the molecular makeup of my wood staves and then I start cradling my wood. Oh, I'm cradling my, wow.
Careful. We got people that watch this that will pick
Got
up
nice
on things
people.
like
Yeah,
that.
I mean that's
you.
like.
Oh yeah,
what
just
was
as a
coming
wee
out of my mouth
pointer,
yesterday.
if you're gonna drop certain words into the mix here, we kind of leave that for sort of after the middle.
Ah, sure.
Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
like heavy-handed innuendo like that will be great for later in the show, but tone it down a wee bit for now.
Look at him.
That was accidental innuendo.
Like Rodney's made sound like we've got standards and we leave it till later.
Can I honestly though, right?
Yeah, go
Then this is just between us guys.
Yeah, yeah. And
See,
the
when
other
it
And our
comes-
7.4 million
Yeah,
followers.
yeah, 7.4.
Yeah, it's gone up.
When it comes to the visitor centre role, I do think on Islay, like obviously I moved to Islay in 2017 for this job. I think we might forget some of the time of how cool our job is.
Yeah.
Because see the people who come from absolutely everywhere, and they make a deal about, we're here, and you're like, yes, you and 900
Yeah, we take it for
others.
granted what we got.
But my God, it's like such a pilgrimage. It's cool.
Aye. And what I love about it as well is you could say whatever the hell you wanted.
Uh-huh.
And 9 out of 10 are going to believe everything you say because you had the uniform, you were that person in that position.
But that's power games. That is
yeah, I
called.
never
Only
enjoyed
you'd be
that.
the sick
See,
man
I
to
was
do
that
that.
power crazy mother. What can I say?
I don't play power games.
Do you?
No, you play mind tricks.
I play mind games.
Mind games.
Yeah.
Rodney,
People
there's
leave
mind
there.
games.
Nobody. I never, almost never introduce myself. They don't know who I am. They don't know who they are by the end of it. They've learned nothing about whiskey.
But
It was
this-
all
But
just.
they've drunk it and enjoyed it. That's all that matters.
I like
yeah.
creating an atmosphere. It's like just a swarm of blue bottles. Just. Oh, there's no structure. to
What
nothing.
just happened?
Yeah. They're giddy. They come out. There's like I know that I've just been through something. I
Yeah.
don't know what, but that's what I always liked.
Something happened. I also like telling people, especially on a Saturday. Again, I apologise for myself. Oh, guys, you got me on tour and it's a Saturday afternoon, and I know it's a Saturday afternoon, so we're going to have the most fun ever. I just get hyperactive through the day, every day. It's
You get all jittery. Yeah.
Fun and games. What do you think of our attic then, Kat? Different, decent, isn't it?
You
got
know-
the ladder okay? Is that all
'cause-
good?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing, because I've only watched this from the other side,
Yeah, you only seen it from the camera.
looked like a big, open space.
No, it's a
No.
box. It's a
I
box. We're
love
literally
it.
a little
Do you know
box.
what's really tragic? Because we had it for the other guests, and it's sort
The
of
mattress.
the piss-stained mattress, the prisoner. We had the hostage back there because they got out of line and they had to be restrained.
Chained up.
Yeah. So,
We get threatened to change the captive over every so often.
got them in storage somewhere else right now. They're not.
It's like an old mattress that we were
just
throwing
back
out.
down,
and
like,
poured
'cause
coffee all
it's
over
like-
it and
It's a
stuff. so it
really
looked like it.
rough-looking area back there, you know.
Did you ever see it? I don't know if you saw it. I did a pan out. I came up and showed people what the attic looks like,
Oh, I didn't
So I did a walk around with the camera. I said, yeah, so this is where all the magic happens. This is that. And I turned around. So yeah, the rest of it is just literally an attic. We've got our hot water tanks there, and I carry on panning around, and there's Rodney curled up on the floor like, and I just skimmed past him like
Duct tape
nothing
round
had
the
happened.
ankles.
Like I never even mentioned him. Didn't batter an eyelid.
Or electrical wire around his
Yeah,
ankles, I
that's
think
it.
it was, just twitching.
Twisting on this mark. There's whole mattress, and people were like, was that a body there?
Welcome
But I just
to
kind
the
of just, I
attic.
just panned around and just skipped straight past it like it was nothing out, like it was nothing.
It fits though, right? That is the basic ambience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like, yeah. I just wouldn't guess, because this wall also looks so tall.
That's
Love
it.
this sign. I'm
It's good, isn't
excited
it?
about this.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was good to us.
I don't
This
think
is,
I'm a
this
bit-
is Ben's handmade bottle opener,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I'll not touch too much because it'll clatter down on our skulls.
It's only
Gordon
yours.
wants me, Antler Man.
But we gave him a bit of a hard time about this during the live tasting because we got it just before the live tasting. And we kept plugging it and promoting it, but we also gave him a hard time saying he's only doing it because he wants us to keep plugging his products.
Yeah, shameless.
Shameless plug. And Dave's like, hang on a minute, it says made in China on the back of it. But he must have got about 20 plugs that live
Yeah, yeah,
tasting
yeah.
we did, just about
None
his
of them
size.
positive.
I
but they were
like the
mentioned.
antler, man. I was up that day I went up to Bolsa. I've managed to find myself a beautiful big antler. Now at the moment it's just lying on a floor in my spare bedroom underneath the guinea pig hutch.
Yeah.
But
Give it to the dog.
That's-
Dogs love it.
at some point, Winston might want it.
They'd love it. Give him a piece, give him a length of it. Cut the ends off because it's almost like the marrow inside. It's almost like a bone, so they will chew that out. And dogs absolutely love it. You can buy it. Literally, you go to PetSmart, you get a bit about that long. That's about 10 quid.
That's mental.
Because it's a dog chew. It's not an antler to them. It's a dog chew. They're selling it as a dog. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna laugh. He loves them.
Because that's what the deer do, especially the red deer. They shed their
Yeah,
antlers,
that's it.
and then
Yeah.
the female deer eat them, and that gives them the protein for
Yeah.
their children.
Yeah, it gives them wood.
They
And then
eat
they
them.
grow the female deer eat the antlers shed from the male deer.
This conversation's operating on many dimensions. So.
As it always does.
I'm already lost and confused. I knew I would
You will be.
be.
Don't
yeah.
worry. Don't worry.
There's a nice nature fact you shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening with these sloths then?
Oh, I was just saying. So of course, Rodney not told me, don't say anything, waste any content for this.
Oh, right,
And
yeah.
clearly, I've got a lot of good content. So as he was going, I was like, oh,
Breaking
man,
news.
did you know that the giant sloth is extinct?
Is it?
It is, yeah. I mean, obviously, this happened hundreds of thousands of years ago, Colin, but
Colin, yeah, well, you didn't have to add his name. That was a wee bit of a pat on the head. That wasn't.
I'm deeply distraught about this because I
Right.
think, no, you see, I've told you this before, if I was the person in control of genetic engineering of animals, I
Right.
would make myself a tiny little pocket sloth, you know, can you imagine? Cute little,
Like they're doing with cupcake dogs or something, right?
yeah, something like that, you know, pygmy whatevers. I'd want a pocket sloth. Now, you know, some people want to make giant chickens to cure world
You've been
hunger.
nice. She's a guest. That's the sort of face
Did you get out much?
That's the sort of face he gives me.
Colin, I will get out a whole
I'll
lot
tell
more
you what.
soon.
No, I didn't mean out the house. I meant out of your head.
Oh, never.
Sloths are great. I think they should make a fast one.
You want a fast one?
Well, it'd just be interesting to watch one
Well, the
run,
giant
wouldn't it? Because they're
sloths-
odd-looking
Scrambling.
things, aren't they?
The giant sloths, because of their size, were considerably faster than the
Wow.
modern day sloth. Right, let's stop talking about sloths.
Tell you what,
It doesn't matter.
David Attenborough's got nothing on this conversation.
Should
has he?
say that. Should say that. Like any crap we talk, you know, if it comes up, can all just be cut. You know.
Yeah, I've got an idea. Should we tell the people what we're drinking?
I
Have
held
we
it up
really
and
gone
waggled
into
it
it
at
much?
them.
May I present it in my Tiger ways?
Yeah, you can.
With full-on professionalism.
Yeah, go for it. She's not going to do it much
Knowledge as
more.
well.
Not going to do it much more, are you? So
Absolutely.
you go for it, Kat.
All right, gents. So today we're drinking the Bowmore 15-year-old. It's undoubtedly the most popular whiskey of the core range. The 15, of course, is a sherry cask finish. So we're starting for 12 years in the ex-bourbon barrels, giving it a bit of the light, smoother hints, and giving it a whacking 3 years finish in the ex-sherry casks. I think it's the best anyway.
Do we know what sherry cask?
It's all a raw, so
All
generally, unless
All
if it's PX, it says it on the label. I think I've seen one Bowmore matured in Manzanilla. It's pretty much all raw, so for us.
That's the most popular, isn't it? Most common.
Most common.
Common cask.
But it's
yeah.
a good reason though. No, I
Nice
mean,
legs,
this one-
isn't it, Rodders? You see the
Aye,
legs?
gorgeous legs.
Oh, legs.
Pining, that is pining. You're going to be Cockney on this show, by the way.
Pining? Oh, hang on. I can sometimes go
Got to be a bit chow on it.
Sometimes my Cockney goes into Welsh, so Alright, love.
A Wapney.
Alright, blood night. No, it's not. Oh,
That's
no.
all right.
They'll kick in later.
It's not there.
Rodney's
It might- it might
Rodney's
kick
not
on.
good at it either, so don't worry.
Sometimes
You're
I-
in good company.
If I go English, I tend to go rapidly posh English,
Ah,
you
so
know. Just
easy.
stop moving my lips. Oh, it's all good.
I'm the
Just
same.
talk from the
Oh.
larynx.
I'm the same.
Yeah, posh English. That's right. You're exactly the same.
I love this whiskey though.
Yeah. Do you know what? So I've been in the warehouse the last little bit, and almost it was like flipping a switch. All I'm drinking is that's what I've got lots of is the 12 and the Deutsche Kaga. Basic stuff, like the basic churned out core range stuff. It's like whiskey.
Yeah.
What is it? It's whiskey. No more. I've stopped sort of caring about the single cask stuff because I've seen too much. It's just straight up tried and true good whiskey and just drink it and enjoy it, you know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
This
the
is-
whole method of keeping flavours consistent, because if you're keeping consistent flavours, they're good flavours.
It's a good set of flavours. This
I think
Johnny
it's
and I
far
used to
more
drink loads of
it's
it.
far more important to keep the flavours consistent than the colour.
Yeah.
Whereas you get Lagavulin 16, that is they put the caramel in there to get the colour in to keep it consistent. Does it bloody matter? I know. But it's not important to me. the
It's not
colour.
important to me. I don't mind talking about it at
But
all. I'd much
the flavour
rather.
is the bit in it. It's just what does it taste like? If you get that consistency, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters to me.
I'm kind of I love a smaller batch release and stuff just because they're interesting and stuff to play with. But the things that we make year by year, day to day, is like, you know, it's the foundation, it's this. And they're really, really good. I just wish that ABV might go up to 46.
That
from
would be nice.
43.
That would
That's
be
Is
all
it chill
is.
filtered?
It is chill filtered and it is coloured.
Oh, look at that content there.
Aye.
Huh?
Yeah. Just that chill filtered bit, that felt like content. That felt like
It did, didn't it? It
substance.
felt like
Yeah.
I knew what I was on about. Well, I
And
was
it's
under the
ruined.
impression that if it's like 40 or 43, generally it's going to be
Do you know
chill
what, though?
filtered. If it's up to the 46 as a core range,
That's-
normally that's unchill filtered. Does that
That's
sound
pretty
about
much-
right?
That's
So
certainly
as a rule of thumb, at least.
everything for us. If it's below 46, it's chill filtered.
Close.
Yeah. You whiskey
Yes,
fans,
you
that
do.
was for you.
Yeah, that's for you.
Thank you very much.
No, this whole thing of breaking off the super exclusive one-off casks and all that. It was round at my dad's about a week ago, and he broke out a regular 10-year-old Lafroig. And to be honest with it, that's kind of pointless, the 40% stuff. And it was gorgeous. It just went down perfect. I don't know if it was what we were eating or whatnot, but I always had in the back of my head, no, it's got to be 46, I think is their cast strength. No, 52. It's their cast strength one around there.
Oh yeah, for Lafroig, for their cast outfit.
Lafroig 10.
Yeah.
And if it's below that and it's not hitting the spot, it's like, oh, this was just beautiful stuff. Just bog standard, what we churn out day after day.
Tasty.
Just lovely.
I went in and bought a couple of bottles here myself the other day. 10-year-old batch 13s for a.
The cast strength stuff.
I had no idea. Just 10-year-old.
Cast strength then. Yeah.
Batch 13, he'd got 12, but 13 had sold out online, so he asked me to get a couple. But yeah, that was
The other thing about drinking just like the Lafroig 10 or the Bowmore 15 is because of the ABV being that bit lower, it's a lot more sociable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, absolutely, you know, whiskey tasting, if you're with people who just want to talk about flavour, drink a £400 bottle of whiskey that's bottled up at 55% alcohol, but you're limiting then how much you can drink, really.
I think from our
And still
perspective,
appreciate.
our perspective here is being on the island, being in the industry, we're spoiled. There's so many good single cast releases, cast strength stuff that we I think overlook core range.
Yeah, you get snobby about it almost like.
I think
that's
we
not
overlook. We just
interesting.
kind of like, we know what the 1.5 and 12 year olds like. Let's not bother. But let's try the Amarone cask, or you know what I mean. And you tend to, you tend to forget that the 12-year-olds are cracking drams, you know, or whatever from whatever distillery. But you do overlook it.
That's funny. I was saying that in the same filthy warehouse tasting that I was hosting yesterday. That I said to them all right, guys, don't worry. I know you're in Bowmore. I know you've had the best time here, etc. My usual chat. And I said, what's your go-to whiskey though? What's the one you have in your cupboard? I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. And loads of them were Lagavulin 16. There was interesting ones as well. It was generally like Laddie, Lagavulin, some over on the mainland, and of course when it came to me every time it is Bunnahabhain 12-year-olds, because I see nothing wrong with that dram at all.
No.
Whereas you wouldn't tend to catch me drinking the likes of Lafroig 10 just because I find it quite,
It's still a wee bit.
for me, it's just quite confronting. It's a
Same here,
big,
same.
massive big note.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the
Aggressive.
older Lafroigs I think are absolutely divine, but
I mean, that one we had on the live tasting we had, what was that? The Carchas, wasn't it? The Pedro Jimenez one. It was stunning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not a peated fan. Actually, anyone that's watched our show before, I'll sit here burping and...
I think you like the Lagavulin one better though.
Oh, yeah.
Really
yeah.
light. It was like
the Lagavulin
42, 43%.
Yeah, that was the Distiller's Edition. That was, again, PX,
PX
wasn't it?
finish
But
on the Lagavulin, yeah.
double mature PX, but stunning. Both of them are stunning drams. I'm not a fan of the peat because of the heartburn I get with it, but I do enjoy them. But it's just a killer. But those two, I would have gone through the pain, no problem to drink those two.
Did I get that? A bottle of mock that you were talking about. That was the peated one that you liked from years back.
Yeah.
Before you were obliged to talk shit. Like
Did
it
you
was
buy-
coming
did you
straight
buy
from
one?
my heart. I thought I got one.
Mock.
I know you had the bottle of 12-year-old, didn't you? That's what we drank down at the distillery, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's not really.
Oh,
It's alright.
Like the Caol Ila.
Yeah.
The
Look at
Caol
the
Ila Distiller's Edition is cracking. Is it a muscatel or muscat?
Don't know.
I'm not going to confirm or deny, but that may
Oh, I see.
be one of the 5 drams
way.
in our December live tasting.
Oh,
I'm not going to deny it.
Don't-
Plugging
don't
already, are
confirm
you?
or deny. Well,
Mate, plug in. I've got about 25, 30 sets sold already.
In which
People
case-
have signed up for them.
I've got me some of that at home. I won't have to pay the 50 quid to get the tasting.
It's not 50 quid, 40 quid.
Oh, it's not even.
Oh,
Oh,
£40.
Bargain.
Including postage.
Oh
Bargain.
man, you couldn't have done that better.
Thank you for that.
I think I need booted off this show. You need Cat on this one. She
Right,
plays that kind of.
I've been saying you need booting off this show for about 12 months,
Listen,
Rodney,
and
but
I've been saying since we started that you're just using me as a stepping stone.
I am. I'm going on to
Take
greater
off into
things.
superstardom.
It's going to be Ant, Deck and Cole. That's what the show's going to be. That's what you'll see. Sunday night takeaway. It'll be Ant, Deck and Cole. Something like that.
Col and
I couldn't
Rodders.
get a job. I couldn't get a job at bloody Butlins, could I?
No, he wants rid of me. You're not getting the
Yeah,
core concept
okay.
as he's
I
moved
need you,
beyond.
Rodney. You know that.
Technically.
My
you do.
editing is terrible.
Exactly.
I think you've also, I think you've probably mutually benefited from each other,
It's got him out of his
Good
shell,
boy.
isn't it?
Oh,
You're a familiar face around these parts now, Rodney.
that's right.
Yeah.
Whether you want to
With
be
the-
or
with the
police.
not.
I've not handled any of those situations with grace or poise.
Well, you can't, because I'm used to that. People say, "Oh, what's your show?" And I'm like, "All right, okay."
Oh shit! I thought that was supposed to be
God.
private.
Dear viewers,
We prefer
I once took these
pair.
lovely
Pair.
people
This pair.
on my warehouse tasting, and then my 4 people who were also on the tasting with them actually recognised this geezer right here, and then they ended up making friends and skipping off into the sunset. So
And they came over a few days later and we had a nice tasting with them as well.
Aye.
don't let them tell you that they've forgotten about.
We are forgotten about a little bit, but we don't care. Even my mother forgets who I am, so it's not a surprise, really. That last
I
live
was
taste.
I was braced for something awful there, but okay.
No, I was behaving.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I watched our live tasting back a month or so
Really,
ago.
really?
I watched it again, the whole hour, whatever it was. And when you came on and said, "Oh my God, my mum's on here. My mum's on here." And then every 2 minutes he'd swarm and say, "Rodney, your mum's watching me." "Oh, sorry, mum." Every 2 minutes, "Oh, sorry, mum." For an hour. "Oh, sorry, mum."
Saying rancid shit and then having to apologise a second.
Everyone else loved it, but he's like, "Oh, sorry, mum. Sorry, mum." It's like a little boy getting his legs slapped.
Alright, Sodgy, I'm going to be all professional and
Oh,
focus this next taste.
go on then.
Not
Oh,
today.
Oh, the
Oh,
next
yeah.
time.
We're having a good lark here
Oh,
today.
I was like, I'm not ready.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
ready.
Today,
I thought-
today
Yeah,
we're
I
having
thought you were
fun.
going to get serious. You're not going to be serious. You know you're not.
No, but look, it'll be funnier when I crash and burn with like heavy determination, you know? When I go in, I had such high hopes for myself, and none of them have borne out, you know?
I did that thing yesterday. It was just a message to a friend to tell them that I'd missed them, right? But I decided to do it in one of my artistic ways. So I set the camera and I was like, "Oh, hey, I just wanted to send you a video because I've got something really difficult to tell you, and I just thought this
Oh.
would be easier. I've been having a really hard time lately. It's bad for me when my eyes go away from the camera because I cannot look it in the eye. And I'm just struggling with a massive, massive Ingalls withdrawal." And then just cracked myself up. I love the serious note. I find it so hard to get that straight face on.
Ominous as hell.
I know, right? Isn't that deep and dark?
That's hellish.
I like that wine.
It's lovely, isn't it? So good, isn't it? I'll say, because it came out as the bottle for the face this year for Harvard, I was still there at the time.
Oh yeah.
And none of us really knew what it was or what it was like.
No. It's
So I
impressive
thought,
stuff.
well, I just went online and bought a bottle. I thought we'll all have a dram and taste and see what it's like. But it's very much like a Sauterne, I think.
I've tasted it in the hotel
The
when
idea
I
of it's like-
worked in the hotel.
The idea is like Sauterne, but it don't come out like Sauterne at all.
Yeah.
Way fresher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that because it's been up here? Because Sauterne would be served at room temperature. This is quite chilly. Well, chilly, but colder up here maybe.
Sauterne's dense.
Yeah. You got
You're
that.
dead.
Way! You found the level immediately.
There you go. It didn't take long, did it?
And I'm not good at this.
How
'cause this
far
would
in
have
are
been
we?
your
25
nonsense. That would have
minutes.
been the, that would have been the
I'm
clincher.
disappointed that took 25 minutes, Rodders. I've got to be honest.
Look, can you do
No.
do a, before we fall to bits already? Do a
Wait.
transfer in case somebody actually does a tune for us or something.
All right, yeah. So
Katie keeps on doing. She's done with the spirit. She's not listening to it anymore. She wants to do something about football instead.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Katie football, but she's not coming through. So we might actually get something off somebody.
okay, we're going to take a quick break, guys. What we do, we'll go out. We'll go this way today. We'll go outside. Someone else will be doing something. Maybe a poem, music, song, Katie. It could be anything. So we'll hand you over. Back shortly.
maybe we get
Or
nobody.
maybe we won't.
Because people have been playing
So-
coy with their poetry and their songs and whatnot. you
Yeah,
know?
I see that. Notice that with
Oh.
old Dave Brody. I'm like, come on. we
Johnny
need-
was saying he was going to do a tune. He'd been practicing on the guitar for something. It's not coming through.
Johnny play the guitar, does he?
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Just get like
At least one of the family's got some talent, then.
Angus Darrick on the old squeeze box. Come on,
Somebody, for goodness sake.
I can play the spoons.
guys. I can also.
Not, yeah, it's
I
not.
can't play the spoons.
It's not the best you'll hear, but
My only talent,
I'll give it a go.
my talent is this one, right?
I'm boning. Oh man.
That's me.
yeah, that's not
You'd
talent. Really.
thrive in a village of
You're welcome.
300 people. Like old timey times, you know? You'd have been like an asset just
I
to.
feel like I was born to be Amish.
Do you know what? I feel really bad now because it's Jazz Week this week. We've kept you from your vocation, really.
Well, you know,
You
I
could be sat in the Isla Hotel slapping your legs with the best of them, Cat.
Got a pipe and a beard on, just going at it.
sometimes you've got to make sacrifices.
I know.
You guys told me that this was my
all
way
for
to
art. This
to
is all for
progress.
art. This is it.
Yeah, the sort of producers
This is
chat.
What we
that
do,
kinda-
we launch careers. We're like the Simon Cowell of the attic business.
I was told this originally. That this would be my gateway in.
Yeah, that's it.
Like us?
Yes.
You don't want to listen to us.
We actually, I think we ruin more lives than we promote careers. don't
Every
we?
time we put out an episode, we lose 50 subscribers. They only creep up in the space between episodes by word of mouth. You know,
Yeah,
people
we tell them how
believe
good
us.
we are. Then when they actually watch it, they're like, "Yeah, right," and then just unsubscribe. He hates that when they unsubscribe. It winds him up because it takes an effort to unsubscribe.
I'm a subscriber, guys, just so you know.
Good man. We like subscribers. They're good for us.
Yeah.
That's why we're almost millionaires. You see.
I also have YouTube Premium, so I can watch your content ad free.
Ad-free. You kind of want a few ads to break it up a bit, don't you?
That's what we should do. We should make up our own adverts.
I'd love
And then
to.
when we go out to the
I'd
ads,
love
we
to.
can like do the cornflake commercial.
Oh,
or we
man.
could do something like that.
I can't.
we?
Oh, do you know what? In case nobody comes through for us, because you know.
Are we coming back from the break yet? Or
Well, maybe that's what we're doing now. The love has been sort of tapering off and then sort of plunging and then sort of tapering off a little bit. So you're talking about sometimes we don't really appreciate what we've got in this job, in the VC or the tour guiding. If nobody comes through with poetry, we'll just chuck out little bits of footage of Woolen Mill. You got some great footage there.
Woolen Mill.
Yeah.
Oh, the
and,
water, yeah.
There's a few bits around the island that have got nothing to do with whiskey, but it is just adding to the gorgeousness of the island.
Totally, like Isla
Yeah.
Beauty.
Mm.
People come all this way for the whiskey, and then they're like, "Can I walk to the American Monument?" Which is a great thing to do, but they could just see a little clip of it on this. They'd be happy.
There you go. Balls. We've got to go out to the American Monument.
Well, I've done that one, haven't I?
Oh, that's
I'll
true.
do
You
that
got
one.
that. Yes, thank you, Kat. Yes, fantastic. Yes.
Been there, seen that, done it.
You
Let's
could
bring
you
that
could get
in.
a drone flying over from the wagon.
That's
No, you're
technical,
getting too
that is.
ambitious
That's
there.
technical.
I think you
Ah.
sold your drone, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
And the
For
other
a-
drone we know sank in the water, so.
For a tidy profit.
Why? Really?
This is a show.
I made about £5 out of it. Let's be honest. Well, I bought it thinking this is going to be great, and then it just never came out of the box.
That happens.
So,
Don't be so understanding.
No, I'm terrible for that. This is a great idea. I'm going to buy this and then I'm going to take it.
Like your guinea pigs. And they just never came out of the box.
They're
Perhaps I should
never.
feed them sometime.
I mean, although I did something similar, I bought myself a guitar when I lived in Edinburgh. Absolutely, I was dedicated to learning that guitar. And then I came to Ireland and I still had the guitar. But my brother did buy it off me, which was kind of.
Saw your brother
That was
today?
nice. Did you?
Yeah, I had a coffee at lunchtime.
Yeah.
At the wee box.
Oh.
At the wee box. Do good
That's
coffee in there.
nice. Daniel's doing
Yeah, a
well
little
now.
plug there. Yeah, but Daniel went home early today because she was hungover from the wedding last night.
Of course not.
But yeah, no, it's good.
So what's Colin's involvement there?
No, he just taking the kids to the wee box, no doubt.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
him and two
Yeah.
kids and the
Just
missus
another-
as
I
well.
was just
maybe.
saying that he bought my guitar off me. It was handy because I'm never gonna develop those skills.
You get these
as
ideas.
you can tell from my
Yeah, no, you focus on that. That was class.
my excellent rhythm.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if that's, I can imagine what your guitar skills would be like listening to your legs slapping.
That's
Probably not the best, is it?
I learned the first 3 chords of something once. Oh no, I went way more ambitious.
Yeah, do that on a bass guitar with less strings.
Yeah.
Much the same as yourself, I got a keyboard, thinking, oh, I'm going to play keyboard music. Some of it actually has made it into the show.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
it?
At some
Oh
point.
yeah, you did something really random. Crap,
It was
wasn't
pretty random crap, yeah.
That was
And
weird, yeah.
my keyboarding got into this. I didn't advertise. Didn't put a music credit at the end.
You didn't want to admit to that.
I can do two things on the keyboard, which also actually translates excellent to a kid's xylophone. Like just so you know, similar keys.
Me walking on the beach.
Leave that alone.
I can do Oh in the
There's
Saints.
a lady present.
What?
All right.
Don't worry.
That's
don't.
right. I'm going to
That's
ignore
for
it.
the next hour.
I can do Oh in the Saints because
Yeah.
I'm from Perth, of course, where we
Alright,
support
okay.
St Johnston. So Oh in the
Oh,
Saints
I
is
thought that was
something
New Orleans. But
you're
all
very
right.
much no, not in Perthshire.
Okay.
Oh in the Saints is purely for the football anthem, and I can play My Heart Will Go On. But
Celine.
only the
Celine
very
Dion.
basics, yeah.
Beautiful.
D D D D C D D C D
Beautiful
E
cat.
F sharp E.
I'd love to hear that.
My heart will go on the xylophone.
You know you want to hear.
Most people are like, I wish my heart would stop.
Xylophone's the wooden ones, right?
Yes.
Those felt bangers.
Bangers, is that what they called, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, it's throbby though.
No, I think you're not really playing the organ now.
I don't know what he's doing.
Sounded a bit
I've got a
organy.
Got a cold.
Yeah. That's why I got this hoodie on.
Do you want more drink?
Yes, let's pour.
What do you want?
That's
What are you having?
something delicious.
Aye, that's the one.
We've got mystery drams if you want a mystery
No,
dram.
no, no. Let's drink some more of this properly, and then I've got a notion for other drinks later.
Oh, we're going to go have more beautiful Bowmore 15-year-old. Well, of course, as I regularly
myself.
say,
That's your
this is my wine.
wine.
And I probably shouldn't mix the wine and the whiskey together.
Good.
There's only a tiny bit of wine. Not a great deal.
Are we splashing the bottom like that? You still working on that one?
Right, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, good.
We do get spoilt here in Islay. You know what else I now really hate doing?
Go on.
Paying for whiskey.
Mm.
Isn't that shocking?
Absolutely.
I now feel like...
You go in there and you expect discount
Yeah.
no matter which distillery you go
And
into.
it's
You're like,
not only on Islay, you know, I was over in Deanston and I love Deanston. Oh yeah, you know about Deanston. But you know,
Little
they
bit.
knew about
Got
it,
one
wasn't
there.
that? Oh, hi,
No,
I'm from
we
over
couldn't
there.
get anything off them.
Really?
We couldn't get
Oh, no,
anything.
no, oh, they totally gave me a dram and stuff,
Yeah.
you know. I got a free tour.
where's this? Deanston?
Deanston.
Mm.
This was years ago, this was like 2018. But even then, I started just being like, yeah, I have to pay, I'm just going home. It's terrible that we're so lucky.
It's just a
Oil.
bad attitude.
I know, sorry. This is
You
really
bringing up
small.
Deanston, we should probably just give a shout out because at Bunnahabhain there's been a lot of them over recently.
Yeah, they've been alright, haven't they?
fantastic. So Andy and Helen, they're a couple, the ex-cops, fantastic people.
Ex-cops?
Brian.
That sounded like a, what's the word? Oxymoron?
Do you know what he used to say?
Is it an oxymoron?
He was saying
Fantastic
like,
cops.
this is way better than rolling around on the floor with cons, or whatever, wrestling them on the floor. That's what you're getting up to. So just talking
Not
shit
much
about
different,
whiskey.
really, is it?
It's a bit of a stretch.
Who else here? Erin? You had the young girl Erin?
Erin and Gemma, they were calling themselves the Deanston Dolls. And let's just be nasty and say they wanted a little shout out on the show, but the picture they supplied, my editing skills can't make it suitable for our audience. So.
Oh, not another certificate 18 one, was it?
But anyway, it's a little verbal mention because we can't show anything. Brian was fantastic. He started such a sweetheart and wound up just being a savage bastard by the time he left, which is great.
Can't understand people being like that.
Gregor and Belen have been a few of them.
Belen's great. She's
Like,
a good girl.
really
Every time I walk in, they're like, "Oh, you coming back to work?" No,
No.
no, I'm just bringing you more victims.
It's nice how crossovers like that happen though within the...
Listen, we've been stranded is a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's been a weird sort of, yeah, I don't know, forgotten, left behind just in the visitor centre there. To feel like you're just part of a bigger team like that was lovely having them over. So
Yeah.
around the other
Yeah.
distilleries, you know.
But it's alright, because if there was any other VC I'd go to, I would only go to Bunnahabhain. So if I find
I
myself,
don't know how
in
many
that
times you've done
situation-
Warehouse 9 tastings with us.
Oh.
Every time there's a new
But
cast.
this is the great thing, because these Deanston folk have been over, they've been in and I've been like, oh, don't worry, I'll give you a few drams, I'll give you a tour, no bother, because I'm just like, I'm just saving
Yeah,
up
yeah,
for
you're
my
just saving.
next Warehouse 9.
Absolutely.
I love that tasting. I've not actually tasted any of the new cast. I've not been for months and months and months. I don't know
They've
what's in
swapped over now, so you've it's probably missed a batch.
I heard the Amaroni's a good one.
Yeah,
It's
it's 61%. I just had a sip and I was like, oh, that's a bit stingy. But when
Yeah.
I found out how strong it is, I was like, oh, that's doing a lot with that.
Yeah.
It's really lovely.
I
It's
will-
basically like a wine version of PX.
Is it?
Meaning
Okay.
you drop the grapes and let them dry out to raisins first, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I might have to book on that.
Yes, you might have to book
Yeah.
on that, yeah.
Wonder if they'll still give me a tasting now that you guys aren't there.
Yeah, of course we will.
That's Katie.
I know.
Oh, and Dave.
There, Dave's there.
Oh, Dave, great.
Sarah.
Sarah and
Hey,
Leah.
Leah.
Oh,
In
yeah.
fact, is there any arsehole
Basically,
on the
all
team?
the good staff are still
yeah, come to think of it, all the ones that would have sorted you out all along, they're all still there, they all still love you.
Yeah.
It's only the two arseholes that are left.
Yeah.
Guys, I do have a whiskey related question.
Yes, let's get into it.
What is your favourite
Oh.
whiskey fact? Like quirky whiskey thing you know?
Oof. Bloody hell, that's a bit on the spot, isn't it? I don't
But
know.
you see, this is the kind of thing that I stay up at night thinking about, Col.
Oh, no, don't say that, that's
Oh,
bad.
this is me thinking, oh my god, the things, you know, the knowledge. Now I'll tell you mine because
Okay,
we're thinking
tell
about.
us
No,
yours.
if
Yes.
you've
An
obviously
idea,
got
'cause
one,
I'm-
go for it.
Well, no, but do you know what it means for the pot still to be chalky?
No.
No. Because I'm in the production meetings now, so I hear stuff of like, we're a few hours behind because the still was chalky last night.
Is that alkaline?
What does that mean? Like, not like they get lining, and so
Yeah.
the efficiency of what it's doing to the spirit, cleaning it in the, I don't know, in the bowl versus the reflux, I don't even know that bit.
So you actually haven't worked out what it means to be
No.
choppy? No, you've just heard this.
But
talk.
you-
God, I thought you were giving us a fact.
I thought so
She
too.
said, give us
I
a
was
fact.
setting Kat up because Kat, not to be complimentary, but
Not
you
to
do have
be.
you do have depths of technical knowledge
I
that are
tend to
far
know.
beyond where we're coming from. It's not
No
just all
idea.
sort of hearsay.
No, I mean, I could easily find out in a moment's notice if you'd like
Oh.
me to. But,
Okay, what's your fact then?
oh no, well, no, I like yours because yours was a searching question. And now I want to know what it is,
No,
that
I'm
is,
getting
what
a pat on
makes
the
us
head.
still chalky. I think it must be something to do with the leftover residue. But
Well, it might just be an in
I like
phrase.
then you
know?
throw in the alkaline
Alkaline,
moment
yeah.
because that is chalk. I mean, I was just going to say, it's only because we're drinking the Bowmore. And you know what, you've heard me talk about this, that I like knowing where the different flavours and everything come through in the different parts of the dram. And the phenol. The phenol, I have given a full character. When I am able to do my interpretive dance of the whiskey distillation process, the phenol will be a whole different molecule on its own. It is, of
I
course.
think we've just found that little interval, the intermission that we were looking for. I'm a phenol.
So,
The gap dance.
you know, of course, that the phenol is hydrophobic, right? So,
That means it
All
don't
of
like
them.
going outside.
no, yeah,
Ah.
exactly.
So
And
it's
then on
like when it's
island,
raining.
it doesn't like going
Yeah.
outside.
Oh, that's
So it all makes like
agrophobic,
perfect
so-
sense that we wet the peat and we get the smoke, and then the phenol, which has been all sediment and all engrossed in its wetness, like stagnant. All of a sudden, the phenol's like whoop 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 and gets really excited and goes up in the air, and then it attaches itself onto the malt and it's dry there, and then we smush it down. And then we put it into the mash house where there's water. And again, it's like, I don't want to be in the water. So it goes up in the steam. And then we get through what we keep left. And then we distill it.
You
And
never
loads-
guess what I am.
Oh, hey, you fucking behave yourself.
I'm bored now. It's too technical for me. Let's
not
talk to
technical,
Rodney
she's
because he'll
dancing.
I'm dancing, right?
Oh yeah, but the
dancing.
dancing bit, I get that. I like that idea, but the whole.
I've got a little Sesame Street cartoon in my head here of the phenol, like having.
Yeah, right. This is how I feel. I feel like happy phenols are
God, you
escaping
two are
water.
so alike.
Right? and then the phenol, of course, so much of it escapes in the foreshots.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair dues.
So when you distill your spirit, you finish with half the ppm that you started in your malt.
That's right.
But we don't measure that at all.
No, you measure it on the barley, don't
We
you?
only measure it on the barley.
Yeah.
And then the whole time it's maturing, it's leaving. But what I love so much about this whiskey is how much of a lovely smoky finish you get. I don't know,
So
after
good,
15 years, it's pretty impressive. I don't know where I just tied fact into opinion there, but I did it somewhere, and I'm
But no,
sorry.
you're
for
right.
boring
But
you,
no,
Paul.
you don't. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Just
The
winding.
Maybe-
links are a bit fragile.
Maybe I should just leave.
It does beg the question: how does it stay like that? You know what I mean? When you got your angel share disappearing, why does the smokiness not go with it?
Well, this is it, because generally it does, and I don't
It's a
know
fair
if it's
question, though.
sherry casks we know likes peat, and I don't know if it's because the phenol actually sometimes just really likes the distillery it's in. It's like, I'm just going to hang here a while, because this is the kind of personality I have given to this
The
ridiculous
trouble is,
molecule.
Bowmore Distillery is a little bit ropey, isn't it, at best? So God only
Gonna
knows.
go
What,
that direction.
God only knows what goes on over the 15 years it's sat in the cask. There could be anything, couldn't it?
I'm being torn apart here.
No, behave. We're being gentle.
This is doing nice.
Ish. In fact, you're the first female that's been in the attic, is she not?
Do we want to go down that route?
What do you mean? I'm just suddenly coming into my head. I don't think we've had her.
Equality!
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's
We're
only
all- we're
because
all
of my
about
it's only because of my personality. It's not because I'm a woman.
It's not
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We should really get a black woman dwarf, really.
Lesbian.
We're going to go down
just
with
to
the
keep it.
dwarfs.
Just to
Don't
keep-
start him on dwarfs. Because he can't. He's a lovely man. He's got a good soul after, when all's said and done. But he can't be trusted on that topic.
Okay.
No,
So we won't talk about that.
no.
They were trying to come up with ideas for the face a couple of years ago. And my idea was to throw dwarfs off the pier so you could throw the furthest and things, but they weren't going for it at all.
That's funny.
There was going to be somebody out there to, fetch them
The
out
floating
again.
flag.
I have been squashing a lot of my face suggestions. One of which, of
Yeah.
course, has been my interpretive dance of the production process, and I can kind of get it.
The
I've
whole
also
production
Dancing
process.
phenol.
It wasn't just going to be the phenols.
no,
No, it was a whole-
I'm starting as a piece of
Mate.
germinating barley, and then I'll fragment off into different
Mothers,
molecules in the
mate.
process.
She had Andrew Lloyd Webber doing the music, fucking everything, didn't you?
Oh yes.
Somebody
Cats.
on
They
the
could call it
glockenspiel.
cats. Oh, hang on, someone's already thought of that.
That's right.
Oh, cats in production. Yes. Or cats reproducing.
No, don't.
No,
want
no,
that.
that
No,
was-
no. That's a hard beg. I can't get Lagavulin. The Freud.
This is good for people at home.
Hard Naho. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard Naho.
We're just looking at some pins.
What's this one
here.
then?
Right, this should go well, right?
Right,
No,
yeah.
no, keep your glass there.
Yeah, well, I don't trust you, Rodney. The distillery pins. West Ham. Snoops is on there. Snoops Taylor.
Snoops bar.
Do you know Snoops? You must know Snoops.
No, I
and
don't.
Cass, do you?
Snoops.
Mad as a box of frogs. But he's a lovely guy. He's at the bottom.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, watch yourself.
Oh, cat!
There's the attic.
Yeah, that's why we call it the attic. The amount of times I've scalped myself in here.
Oh man, yeah.
I could take chunks out of my head in here, cat. Absolute chunks. That's why I put the
Even when
insulation on that bit
I
there.
came up the ladder and I'm so glad you went up first
Mm.
because I saw you stoop down because otherwise I would have just come up there and tried
Just
straight up.
skull straight
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
it. There's reason for that.
That foam, that
Oh
insulation.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
By God of it.
Colin's taking, like
Chunks,
like
chunks.
chunky marmalade, basically the
Just-
rind.
He's like peeling it back. It's like,
Oh.
the Silence of the Lambs.
Never
My
again.
accent's kind of fitting in pretty
Pretty
well.
neutral, isn't it?
Pretty neutral.
Yeah,
What?
could be from anywhere.
It's okay. I have an English great grandmother, so I can relate.
Oh,
Oh, talking of grandmothers, going to see mine in a couple of weeks. 102 years
102.
old.
Oh,
yes,
what
yes.
a woman.
That's some innings, that, isn't it?
yeah.
That ain't bad.
She's a good old girl. Sharp as a tack up here as well.
Oh, that's such a relief when that happens.
Physically not so great, but mentally, sharp as a tack.
Right.
But she's funny because
Of it.
she's staying in an old folks' place and she always talks, I'm going out with the old ones later on. And she's the oldest there by about 10 years.
By
but
about
she's
10,
I'm going
yeah.
out with the old people later.
That's how she still feels.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
My
Anyway,
granny
sorry.
said that age 90, she's like, oh yes, I'm going to the over 60s. I'll go and see the old dears. And you're like, yes,
But
grand.
it's like when the Queen passed away, because my nan's like 6, 7 years older than the Queen, and she's like, oh yeah, but she had a good innings, didn't she? I'm like,
Amazing.
brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely
That's
brilliant.
what you want. You want to be caught out by death. It's like, oh, I was just getting started.
Yeah,
You want that.
absolutely. So go down and
A
see
lot
her.
of people that are basically like sort of checking their watch at 40. It's like, any time now. That'll do me.
You get like that working at Bunnahabhain, don't you?
Yeah. No, you did. You
Oh,
did.
just me, was
You've
it?
got your
I think from
soul
day one I was
strangled
like,
from day one. You know what? Can't be arsed with this.
I know. Everyone Everyone
3 years of I can't be arsed with this.
Everyone warned me about turning 30. Now they're already warning me about turning 35, and I'm just like, I mean, really?
Not you. You don't have to worry. You've got the germinating malt and the and all in
You
your
got the
head.
dance to do. You'll be fine. You keep doing that. You'll be fine.
I'm dancing my life away here.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's so many sagas and wonderful stories and yarns and tales and whatnot in the world, and you're only at sloths disappearing. You know, like there's a lot after that as well.
Is there?
Yes.
What
a lot
happened after the giant sloth?
I don't want to burst your bubble. Like you've got a lot to come. There's some ups and downs. You're going to go through some dark times, but you know, it's
I
worth
wonder
it.
if there's been any notable wars ever happening.
I don't know. Not up here.
No,
Not
few
yet.
harsh words exchanged.
There's been a few glances of like.
Yeah, well. I actually just started reading a new book today, but let's not talk about that.
I just started colouring another one. I'm
Colouring.
not up to reading yet. Still trying to colour between the lines.
It's hard. It's
It
also fruitless and
I know.
Right.
Oh,
This is
Oh,
the
God.
part of the
Have you
show
got a
where I
scrap of paper
traditionally
now?
get shat upon. I'm being
you
nice
got a
to you.
scrap of paper.
No,
What do you mean
I got
you've been
pastry.
shut? Oh, he's bought food.
oh, I love pastry.
You don't get, well, it's up to
Oh,
him.
I don't care for
It's up to me.
It's up to you. This has got icing on it, so I figured you'd be nice to me. But there's no sort of sense of this is paired with the whiskey. This is just icing at you to sort of
With some icing left on it
filthy
anyway.
yourself up with. It came like that. It annoyed me. That's why it's in the bag.
That's
Why-
because them people at the co-op,
Stop
you know, they haphazardly throw things.
Don't
over
you abuse
you.
people at the co-op. They're fine
Okay, you
people.
want one of these?
These, it turns out, are really tasty.
You want one of these?
But
Kat?
don't
I totally
involve them.
do.
Have one.
Can I have an entire pastry?
Yeah.
Have an entire
Absolutely.
pastry.
Because
But
if you don't, I'll have entirely
you'll be
two, so it's probably the best.
Don't break
Would you
tradition.
like to
I was
share
gonna
some
no,
pastry?
I was going to invite you to, but please don't break tradition and actually comment on how it goes with the whiskey, because it just there's something. Well, in fact, Bastard Katie, insists that I'm a masochist and just love the abuse. So it would hurt me a little bit if you started playing nice with me and going, you know what, that's actually quite interesting. It's like, ah, no, what's happened?
To be honest, I don't really get the whiskey and food pairing stuff. Some like dark chocolate
Me either.
with
None of it.
whiskey is great. Whiskey
See?
and food is good. They're two very
They are
delicious
two
things.
good things, yes, but they aren't.
And see
together.
people who would pair whiskey and cheese, absolute masochists.
Oh, Mr. Bloody Cold Meats over there.
Yeah, I brought a mad tangle of smoked corpses. It was just all sorts. It was like taking out. That was Billy. Just taking on a toothpick was supposed to make it dainty samples, but since it was all still stringy together,
You couldn't have got more on a fork.
it was basically like this amount of dangly meat off one toothpick. You're supposed to.
Because we are lady.
Yeah, that was a pretty dainty episode. You got your pinky sort of half out. So
Yeah.
This is doing all right.
So it doesn't get covered in icing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that works out okay.
What?
I was working through the logic of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's okay.
Are you working out logic?
Can we do an ad for this? Maybe we'll start getting paid for our shows.
No, it's probably not a good idea. Remember the old commercial about finger in the fudge and all that? What was it?
Feel like finger in the fudge. Finger of fudge. Never mind, I can't do it properly.
Finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat or something. The advert used to be.
Oh.
Remember that?
A finger of fudge.
Because it used to be a fudge bar like the size of your finger.
Mm.
So it used to say a finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. It was like, you can't say that now, not even in the attic. Of all the things he wants to promote, a fucking finger of fudge.
But is it delicious?
No, it's nice, it's nice.
It's so much better than a finger of fudge.
So much more, isn't it?
Bulked out with the cake is a bit better.
I mean, I don't know with you guys, you'd probably have to pay loyalties to Cadbury's for eating their biscuits.
Yeah, the only people that have to pay money back.
Done a lot of damage there.
This is not fair representation at all.
Oh,
No wonder nobody gives us a bottle of whiskey. One day, maybe.
oh
Get your brother to
the
give
only
us one.
the only lot that I was
You would.
I was trying to be diplomatic and then, oh, fuck 'em, Tam do. And I mentioned that to yourself, and I think you had a theory of why. It's like, I was trying to be, and it's like, no, fuck them. This is disgraceful, this is atrocious whiskey, it's piss. It just tastes like soap. Fucking dancing arse cheeks right there. Was it Mr. Clean? You had an idea of why it was like that.
Can do. I don't know. Normally when I hear the soapy note, I just think of the overrunning of the stills. The speed.
It's been run too fast.
And the speed of the stills running. But then
Faints is just getting chucked across or something.
aye.
Bastards.
That's certainly the way I know of it. Can do.
I think I got that notion from you.
We have discussed this before, but yeah. Certainly
It's
for
interesting.
certain previous distilleries I do know of, and in previous times when recessions were high and the stills were being run too fast, the spirit is just that.
Where
like
did this come from?
perfume.
That came from Georgie.
Oh, Georgie Crawford. Did it? I just noticed what you're wearing. You've gone for that old skinny lumberjack look again, haven't you?
Oh, my dad just brought this back from Canada.
Did he?
It's thin, it's not the padded ones, you know?
Oh, it's
so I can wear a hoodie because I'm sick. Underneath it, you know, it's not all bulky. Oh,
It's like you're going to mug an
Could
old
you-
lady at the ATM.
Because you have a few flirts, don't you?
Oh.
The fleece line shirts, the flirts.
Oh, see, we got.
Oh, there you are.
there'll be a bit
I'll
of
tell you
merch.
what, I might have one through there for you.
Oh, look at
Might
that.
have.
But no
Speak to me
exciting
nice.
colours yet. It's been years getting
Well,
exciting
I've got all the
colours.
colours are downstairs, but I
You
just
got
haven't had them printed up yet. I've got black, white, navy.
Black's my colour
got
of choice.
purple,
all the
I've got-
time.
You got purple.
I've got purple
That's
shirts.
for
but
Leah, isn't it?
Leah's getting purple. I've got purple shirts, but
Hey!
They don't say the attic on them yet.
Well, I think Katie was wanting chartreuse or some bastard colour.
yeah, she gets kind of like what she's
Getting
given.
purple.
She gets. Well, I don't know.
Is chartreuse some sort of mad yellow?
Chartreuse it is.
It's yellow?
Is it
Chartreuse is wine. It's a wine, so it's
'cause
like
it's
it's a
that-
quite yellow straw-like colour
Should
wine.
I be happy or sad that I knew that some part of me knew that?
Yeah, chartreuse is all exactly that. Is he?
I think so.
Oh, that's
No,
so-
no stranger
that's not
would know that, would they?
Well, I mean, he does know a lot about alcohol. Funny that, isn't it?
Rohypnol. What did you say? What did you say?
Don't tell him. I've spiked his drink for a change.
I remember nothing.
Wake up in Rodders' house. He's like, "You feel okay?" Yeah. He said, "That drink," he said, makes your bum hurt, doesn't it? It's nothing to do with fucking spiked your drink. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Gotta be careful. Oh yeah, that whiskey makes your bum sore, doesn't it?
What just happened?
I don't know. That's what I asked. You might want to edit that out.
No, because it was delivered in undertones. I don't think anyone will catch that.
You don't?
I think they just drifted off to sleep for a little bit and then
Probably.
woke up to, oh wait, no, I'm not really following this anymore.
Well, I'm still a tour guide.
There's bound to be somebody
Beautiful,
out
just
there.
not for
For
me.
2
Not
more
for me.
weeks, I'm a
You're
tour guide.
free after that.
You're not a tour guide up here.
I'm making people's dreams come true, and I could start singing about it if you
Keep it
want me
clean. Keep it clean.
to. I'm making my
Family
dreams
shows.
come true. Yes.
A rush of smoke, then honey sweetness finishes with a heavy hit of peat. What a load of old rubbish.
Tasting notes are one thing I do not
hate
get.
'em. I hate 'em.
We had our old master blender, Rachel Barry. Now, don't get me wrong, she was poetic. You know, she now does Ben Riach and all that. But she would do these ones, and it was like the Tempest. Iodine-soaked blood orange is a line I remember memorising.
That's stuck with you.
Iodine-soaked blood orange in a sea salt spray. You know, that kind of thing. You're like, I get none of this.
Yeah.
Ron, our current master blender, he's more of a chemist, so he's like, from the sherry casks you get, and I quite like
you
that.
Will, yeah, you will discern. From the sherry cask, you will pick up on...
You get a big sherry cask. No, oh, okay. Oh, I get a big sherry cask. No,
See, I get that. I prefer that than the poetry bit.
I
You know, the
find
poetry.
it
What's Ron's name?
hard. Ron Welsh.
Ron Welsh.
I loved Rachel. Don't get me wrong. Rachel actually came into training and
Yeah.
such an amazing woman. Incredible profiles. If anything, I would say her
How
whiskey
long,
was.
when did that switch
wonderful.
over?
2017, the year I started.
Really?
It was really, yeah. I won't tell you.
When we
the
did a
ins and
Bowmore episode, we might have been brutally out of date. I think we were still talking about her.
Did we?
I mean, she is
It
incredible.
was our second episode, so we barely had the lights on.
And now you see it with Glendronach and Ben Riach. You
Long
see
before
big,
it was this professional.
Never
you
mind
see
that one.
banging sherry casks and stuff because Rachel loves the sherry cask and she is wonderful, and honestly her training was great, but these tasting notes they told a story, which was nice.
Yeah, it's evocative.
And it's just what you're reading there. You know, you will get. I don't get that. I get
Everyone's
spice.
individual.
And I get
We're individual.
this.
Just because one person gets that doesn't mean everybody does. I hate the taste of the nose and notes. Have a taste of that. Tell me what you think.
Okay. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to try something new. Oh, it's different. Oh, I like that. That's fruity. That's like the first good whiskey I've tried since Bowmore.
Bowmore Atlantic Sea Salt.
What'd you
That's
get
the
from?
Vault Edition.
I beat you.
Oh,
I beat you. She's drinking it.
Oh, she.
Yeah, but-
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I've got some
drinking it.
miniatures over there.
This is
made
my
up.
favourite Bowmore. This is my
Oh,
absolute
come on.
favourite Bowmore.
We've been disgraceful
You want some
shits.
Rodders?
So
Look at this, right? Okay, okay.
in this episode, we've been disgraceful shits. So how about if you speak eloquently about the charms of this drink,
Okay.
which I was not that enthused
Right.
about, to be honest.
I know you weren't, but this
I didn't mind it.
Bowmore, right?
Never mind that. That's not fucking love.
Yes, I love it.
Back in the day, back in 2016, Bowmore came up with this idea to look at the four corners of our flavour. It's not like the Johnny Walker four corners.
No, it's
The
better,
Bowmore
yeah.
flavours are sea salt, peat smoke, fruit and sweet.
Citrus.
And they were going to do a bottle after every flavour.
Yeah.
So this is the Atlantic sea salt flavouring. And what they ended up doing was taking loads of casks from our #1 vaults, down at the wall that says Bowmore on it, which is the most sea salty wall we have.
Loads of cats. It's a significant contribution.
Oh, there was hundreds of thousands of this bottle made, but it was a one-off release. It was
Yeah.
it was a small batch release in the fact that only bottled one time. And this is what I do like about these bottles. We were saying about core range, looking for flavours again and again. Like our master blender, and at this point it was Rachel Barry, could go absolutely wild, decide whatever casks they wanted because they knew they'd never have to replicate it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway.
That's not nothing at all.
For me, it's like crisp
That's
and
jazz.
refreshing. In the distillery, I paired this with a Malteser. Can you imagine sticking the chocolate off the Malteser until it was just the teas?
Yeah,
inside,
when when
and
the
then
bubbles crumble.
taking a sip of this. Massive maritime note on it. It is like a crisp Granny Smith apple or something. And then we sold out of it. They released the second release, which was the peat smoke flavour, and decided to discontinue the series because there's no age statement on it. And that saddens me immensely because I thought this was beautiful. 51.5% alcohol.
So fruity on the nose.
So
really
fruity.
But I don't get that on the palate.
I just get a little, there's
Oh.
tiny, like almost an iodine just at the very back, just the bottom of the gums. I love this
First
whiskey, and
release.
also for me, the problem is it's probably sentimental. I said when we started this show, when I first tasted the Bowmore 15, I said it tasted like death and decay.
Yes, you did say that.
The Vault Edition was the first Bowmore whiskey, just whiskey generally, that I actually liked. And I would take a big Glencairn glass of this into the sea with me when I went
That's a
swimming in
lovely
the
picture.
evening.
Like when Face is done.
Yeah,
you're fucking
absolutely. I
waxing.
took this Glencairn glass filled up to about this point with the Vault Edition, and I walked in and I would sip it as I walked into the sea and put the glass in my pocket and then go swimming with it too. And everything about it is lovely. And now it's slightly more expensive to buy, although
Is
I
it?
still have it. Yeah, because even on the auctions it's now going for maybe £150 a bottle where we sold it for 70. But it's I don't know. I
I
think
don't
it's
know
a
what
magic
made me
jam.
buy that one, but
And I'm really sorry if you don't like it, Rodney. Then that's
I'm not saying
absolutely
I
up to
don't
you.
like it, but
It's different.
I'm just going for a back-to-back here because I do have a wee splash of the 15. I still call it darkest.
For me, yeah, you do call it darkest, absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
We take the name darkest off because of the new whiskey in our travel retail range, which is the deep and complex, which is darker in colour. But Bowmore darkest is the same as it has been. I love this dram so much it hurts. And see this is a Rachel Barry. In fact, look at this. Yeah.
first
Discover
edition.
ripened
Oh,
fruit, solid
there it is.
honeycomb, Ziggy's spice cocoa, and iodine-soaked blood orange,
There's
all
what you got
bathed
it from.
in an Atlantic sea spray awash with blackberry sea salt, kumquat, and a lasting finish.
Elastic finish.
Elastic finish holds out like the vast ocean itself. That is Rachel. I love this whiskey. And what's also beautiful about it, because Bowmore, we do focus on the sherry cask, it's fully matured in the ex-bourbon barrels.
That's some poetic
And
wank
it is
right there.
just bloody brilliant. And yeah, it's not for everyone, I do get that.
I don't dislike it.
For me,
always
it's
nice,
the
but
story. Is
To me, the nose and the palate is so different on this.
Yeah, when I smelled it, I thought, oh, what's he giving me now? And then I tasted it, I was like, this is Bowmore! This is Bowmore! Now listen, if I'm going to do a 10-second review on the Bowmore Vault Edition, I'll just say it's the best
That wasn't
whiskey
the
I've
idea.
ever
You didn't have to
tasted.
do a 10-second review. Just I saw it there and thought I'd let you
Would
have
you
it
like a
'cause I
few
know you
drops of
love
honey
it.
in with it?
No,
Why
I
not?
don't want anything. If I had a Malteser right now, I'd suck all that chocolate off the Malteser.
Suck chocolate off a fudge.
And then
Wee bit of finger.
Have a-
One wee finger for your kids, that'll do you.
you want me to suck a
Hey,
finger?
steady now,
Oh
fucking hell.
my god!
That you need to edit out.
I love it.
Fucking Gary Glitter over there.
Oh, it's so delicious.
You did that the last episode. I don't think Gary Glitter fucking sweated this much at his,
Oh, I
at his
love-
trial.
Did I?
See when you're like, oh,
I love drinking whiskey. There's other things you can drink, but I love this where you can float, you can coast for so long, and in some turn of the conversation reveals how fucking pissed you are.
Yeah.
Like you're already an hour past saving.
I am.
You know, the
Things
getting,
are only going downhill.
getting back to square is a long way in the rear mirror.
What?
I think, I don't know why it hit me so much. It's probably because it was my first. Everyone's got their first. Did you have your first call? How was your first?
Couldn't tell you.
What
Couldn't
was
tell
your
you.
first?
No idea.
But,
But
no, there's no but.
What?
Just go for it.
Did you know that the platypus is the only animal that poos in cubes? The duck-billed platypus poos. Oh, I'm so drunk. What happened to me?
you came in the attic.
Happens to the rest of us. It poos in cubes. What the fuck does that
It
even
does.
mean?
No, honestly, if you look at a platypus poo, is in like perfect dice shape. Weird.
Are they really good at Yahtzee? Because
They
that's
might
like they just roll 5 of their own turds.
Oh, the Caol
How have we
Ila
only taken a
tool.
tiny amount? I thought we ducked
No,
into this.
because
a
all we
bit.
did was took it down to the distillery and opened it up on the thing there. And we only had literally one, didn't we?
Fuck
Guys,
you.
before we
From
pour
now
the
on, I poo in cubes.
Cut. Woo, my glass is empty.
Oh, that's criminal. Have some fucking.
Rodney,
fun.
help me here.
Where's
Oh,
your
yes.
Where's your active glass?
This one.
That's your fucking butterfly glass.
Yeah.
What's your getting
Oh.
down to business glass? Alright, there we go. I'll join you in some Caol Ila.
Thank
'cause
you.
I enjoyed this Caol Ila.
Oh, I like a Caol
You were
Ila.
surprised by it, weren't you?
That's a last little bit of darkness.
Darkest.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, nice.
You know a bit of Paul and Kinsermine?
Who?
That was a very badly pronounced Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, I was going to say, what the fuck?
Hey, you're probably sick of us going on about Caol Ila, but there you go.
Oh, do you guys drink Caol Ila a lot?
No, but we strung it along because it's been. I'm trying to rub off some of the snot. It's been a long time since
Been up here
it's
doing
been
this.
very hard getting together. It's
Yeah.
been very hard getting together. And so one of the last times we managed it was for Caol Ila, and we sort of padded it out for
Probably
several.
doing a bit of Diageo stuff.
Can I tell you a fun fact about Caol Ila?
Please do.
I'm sure you guys know already. Did you know that Caol Ila
It's
was
the
the
only
first?
whiskey that shits in cubes.
Caol Ila was the first distillery on Islay, and in fact in Scotland, to use salt water in their cooling systems in their stills.
Oh.
Thank you. Hey, just shoot there.
you know
There.
what, that's-
Thank
Oh,
you.
right.
I got
Grab the bottom, do a proper chain.
Yeah, if you hold the stem, you get a proper.
That's angelic, you fucks.
Oh, it smells great too. Sorry, I'll let you continue your Caol Ila chat.
Clear's alright. It's all over.
On the attic, we embrace all forms of love. Even that one.
Bestiality. You're thinking of the.
Necrophilia on the attic.
I just watched a movie last night. There was a
don't
clean.
Rodders.
There was a
This
clean.
is the last biscuit. Does anyone want it?
Go on, eat
I
it.
do
Kat.
want a munch off it.
Go for it.
No,
Eat it.
no, no, no,
No.
no, no.
Eat it.
I
You're a
literally
guest,
just
Kat.
took it. I'm just curious.
Because I've just eaten
It
4.
was not
so it's
curiosity.
only
It was
fair.
desire.
I was a little. Should we
Please-
half it?
Please take 2/3 of that.
Hang on. I tell you what.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, no.
you two.
There
You
we
should
go.
have said I wouldn't have eaten the other 4 if you wanted one.
There we go.
He said take 2/3. That's pretty much perfect.
We did. That's hardly dropping the mic, is it?
I'm being baller.
Dropping the fudge
I've had a
wrapper.
third of a fudge. Yeah.
I've just been fingered.
I've just had a solid half finger right there.
In this family-friendly movie that I just watched,
Yeah.
the guy had just had a pet hyena that he loved to death. And when the hyena died, he had a fleshlight. He had a fleshlight inserted in he had the hyena stuffed, and he put a fleshlight so he could fuck his beloved hyena in the afterlife.
That is absolutely horrendous.
What the
What
fuck do you watch?
What do you watch?
It's a family movie. That was my
You
point.
need a girlfriend. Or something. Fucking
If there's
hell.
the word fleshlight in there, Rodney, that's not family friendly.
It was in this family-friendly movie. I was appalled and astonished and
I
intrigued.
don't think that was Mrs. Doubtfire, was it? Oh, some editing to do on this episode, Rod, isn't there?
Oh my god.
It's not a proper episode unless there's a lot of editing. A lot of fucking editing.
Oh wow.
Oh, God.
How are you going to make us look professional?
It's only an hour episode.
Oh, that's okay.
There's a lot of hellos. A lot of...
He watches some shite on that fucking telly too, doesn't he?
What's your life like?
Not as fucking bad as that, clearly.
Listen, the attic is an empire now. It's not just
Empire,
it's
it's a
not
biscuit,
just
isn't
it's
it?
not just a sort of world conquering webcast. I think is the present name for it, is it? It's
Webcast.
also a taxi
It's a
company.
taxi company as well.
Yes.
What have you seen in your time?
Cars.
No.
I'm very busy.
Even Crow. Me. Blown away. I'm a murderer. I'm a fucking murderer.
I'm a
I am.
murderer. Yeah. I'm a murderer all unto myself.
Tell me what you think of this Caol Ila 12.
I'm going
Good
back
shit.
to that again.
Good shit.
See, that's
See-
the what they should put on the bottle.
Yes. Like, if that went into tasting
Fucking
notes.
blood orange my arse.
If I was
This is
iodines,
good shit.
I love the fact that what I was referring to ended up being on the Volts bottle.
That's right. That's gorgeous. Yeah. 'cause
That's
you,
me.
You didn't know where you'd pulled
I thought it
that
was from Tempest somewhere.
Mm.
But the iodine-soaked blood orange with Atlantic Sea
Oh, holy
spray
hell.
was
God
just
damn
me
it.
quoting the Volts first release.
But you picked some good ones. I'm sorry, but the Atlantic. It's such a shit thing to do. But the Atlantic sea salt is interesting, but it's not as good as the fucking bog standard, churn it out week after week, week after week, year after year, darkest 15.
The 15 has been the favourite Bowmore since the
Unbelievable.
1970s.
We'll probably need a safe word.
Hey, I'm the one who demands the safe word.
There you go.
Fucking hell.
Mine's salmon.
Oh, salmon.
Salmon.
I normally go for something like ferret, something even
No.
ball gag.
No,
They
the
have
old
to.
ball-
Ferret needs. You need to involve ferret. So you can't rule ferret out.
But to be a safe word, I would absolutely. That is my safe word.
No,
For
ferret
other
can be
people
included.
to use. Why would you say the word ferret if I had you ball gagged to a wall?
Because
Again?
there's some things that are needed.
You want a ferret?
Fuck yeah. Well, this situation needs a ferret.
Right. Okay. Let's edit out this content and go back to.
Blood orange. Blood orange is my safe word. No,
Blood
fuck, we need a blood orange.
Like-
Polyps.
What?
Yeah. Warts. Warts. I tell you. See, Colin, you're just lucky.
Suture.
You've made it into adult life as a perfectly,
You were going to say normal then, were you?
Yeah, I was,
No.
but now I'm thinking like
Well
unique,
adjusted.
well adjusted. You're at least you have a person. They've got a person. You're like the ultimate. I have adulted
Role model.
correctly.
I'm a role model.
You're a
I
role
have
model.
I'm a role
adulted correctly. That should be. I don't know what that should be, but it should be something.
It should be
I
my
can't
family motto.
adult correctly.
I have adulted correctly.
Yes.
I feel that level of achievement is probably
Yes.
the word.
My family crest, of course, is Gordon. It's the stag which says Bidand above it. And it's something about
Dan?
like my destiny is beyond the stars, and that's
Fuck
entirely what I feel.
Fuck
My
yeah.
destiny is well beyond the stars.
Well fucking beyond the stars. The stars can suck my Bobby.
Holy shit! I had a tour the other day that went out, and one of the guys.
Have you been
said,
watching Still Game?
One of the guys said to me, "It's like, what kind of mill do you have?" And I said, "We have a Porteous mill." We were about to go out on tour, and he goes, "Aye, everyone knows that Bobby is best." And I was honestly, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon. I was about to take them out on tour, and I was just like, "Fuck my life."
Does he even know?
Everybody loves the Bobby.
Everyone loves that
He
Bobby.
was a Scottish, he was a Glaswegian, so he knew exactly what he was
That
doing.
Bobby is best.
You sounded somewhat Rastafarian there.
He did, didn't he?
The Bobby is best.
Bobby is best.
Yeah, well.
God, what happened to me in the attic today, guys?
Well, it wasn't me, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, the attic has this effect, you know.
Right, okay. Do we want to talk about anything else really poignant and significant?
Let me check my, my random notes.
God, here we go. I knew he'd have one.
Got a
I
bin.
fucking knew he'd have that postage stamp. For years I've been looking.
Tiny writing.
I said he could write War and Peace on a stamp.
Okay. Something. Your Pete. Would you like to talk about Pete at all, Rod?
Go for it.
Because
I don't want anything that's in a verbal form. I want everything danced.
Okay. So at the moment, Bowmore is aiming to really look after the peat
we're
banks
peat
we have
neutral.
exposed. We are carbon neutral. We are carbon
We're peat neutral.
and that's important.
Oh, yeah.
What name a species that anyone can give a fuck about? It's got a cute face because humans are cunts. I love humans.
I don't.
I love humans.
Right.
So I'm a better person than you are.
Okay. You know what I hate?
Oh yeah.
People that think they're better than other
Pandas.
people.
I don't hate pandas, but I absolutely despise the amount of effort we have gone to continue
have
the
you ever
race.
seen a panda give birth?
Uh-huh.
It can pretty much sort of like squirt it out and catch it in its hand.
And then it decides to eat it after an entire life of only eating bloody bamboo that gives it nothing. Like, why on earth?
How cool is that though? How cool? Because I love that. Everyone should read the book. Fuck the movie. It's got nothing to do with it. Read the book Solaris. That will confound your human ambitions for being a person. Read Solaris. So, you watch the panda, and the human impulse is to rescue the panda. And the panda can't catch its baby. It will do sort of faffy shit and then eat the panda afterwards.
Yes.
And that is an ultimate fuck you to the human race.
Yes,
Right
but
there.
it's also
not the
just like
not the panda, it's us that are fucked.
It's true, right? Because my biggest theory on this is the fact that
Panda's
the
fine.
panda doesn't want to save itself, but maybe
Panda
it's
doesn't give a
only
fuck.
because it's around humans. Pandas, I think, deserve to be extinct. Why should we spend millions investing on the panda?
But don't think of it as in terms of against the panda. Think of it in terms of all the tree hugging types.
It's
that
the
think
idiots
we're
that
going to be
invest
good
it are the
people.
problem, not the
And
panda.
the panda's just not cooperating.
The panda's just like,
fucking yeah. The panda is fucking fudge fingering its own children right down its throat.
Fucking hell.
Poor Colin.
Yum.
Sorry. Because I
I
chose.
love that. I love that. I love it.
Episode after episode I have to put up with this guy. The man's a fucking beast.
Yes, but I understand it because I'm just like, you know how
I
we
love how
have.
frustrating that is.
We have a joint Bowmore Lefroy warehousing team, right? Currently,
Which
they,
you are part
which
of.
I'm going to be part of in 2 weeks. They currently have a bus that says, "What's your opinion?" with a question mark underneath, and I'm like, what a bold thing to write on a bus, because I just every time I'm just like, pandas should be extinct, but
Should
maybe
be.
it is just pandas in fucking with humans should be extinct. If we left them in their wild, they'd be absolutely fucking fine. Why am I
No,
swearing?
no. Swear. By all means, swear. But no, the pandas don't give a fuck about surviving or not surviving. Pandas are living life. Pandas are balling out of control. Fucking, It's the humans that are sitting on the sidelines going, oh me, oh my, you know. Fucking what about this and that?
You make me want to put a black and white jumper on.
How cute is the panda? And I'm just like, pandas don't even want to save themselves. They fall out of trees to their death. Anyway,
Unlike the giant sloth.
Oh,
It
they are
deserves to be dead because it can't get his arse in gear when it crosses a road. You know what I mean?
They never got the chance to face the human.
Well,
Face
it's just
the
a
human.
normal sloth.
Face the human. Fuck yeah. That should be a show at least.
Face the human.
Sounds like gladiators.
Natural selection and all that. I'm the boss bitch that you just can't meddle with. And that is
I'm fucking backing over there.
that is a direct quote from Epic Rap Battles of History. But anyway.
You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to just like fucking set fire to that bit of paper while he's reading.
I have a lighter. No, I don't, because I vape only.
I vape only.
I only vape.
This is my way of things. I vape only.
I vape only. Why did I get it so
I come
wrong?
to Islay
But now
quite
that I've
recently.
mentioned,
Quite recent. I vape
I
only.
would like to drink something other than the lovely,
Let's-
glorious Caol
Right.
Ila 12-year-old.
Is
Look at this bottle. Can I just say that the Caol Ila 12-year-old is a perfect harmony between that kind of sea salt, peat smoke and fruit that you want to get in every dram you've ever had. I love the
Fuck
Caol
yeah.
Ila.
but can we drink something else? You're saying?
But also just I'd like another dram, but I don't want it to be the same
And
dram.
you don't want the more darkest.
We've had Darkest, we've
Do you
had
want mystery
Vault
dram or
Edition.
do you want?
Can we have one
Do you want a
more?
bottle killer?
Oh, I'm so excited by this.
That's peated mystery dram.
This is
Oh, no,
peated.
it's not. This
Peated.
doesn't. Oh yeah, okay. I'm
Says
like,
on the
this
lid.
is bourbon. But yes, this is
The mystery
no,
drams are really good.
This doesn't say peated.
Lots
yeah,
of
all
the
the
mystery
rest do.
drams
You're
are
fine. That'll be
fucking
peated.
gorgeous.
I will be.
What you
peated.
have? You want one, Rodders?
I'll take a peated mystery dram. Okay. We need to make more of these actually.
Oh, you like it?
Oh, I love that.
Well, that.
Whatever this is,
Is it peated?
it's definitely peated, but I didn't get it on the nose at all.
Right.
But right at the back here, I'm wondering if this
That's
is like
quite
this.
strong.
Actually, could be like something like a Port Charlotte.
It could be anything.
This
it could be
is
from could be from a
beautiful.
mainland distillery. There's no way of knowing. What is
This is exceptionally good. It's smokier than a Bowmore.
But the idea is, it
Your
doesn't
mum's
matter. It
smokier
doesn't
than
matter
a
who it
Bowmore.
is.
My mum is smokier than a Bowmore.
Yeah.
Nothing takes much to be smokier than a Bowmore.
But that's why we did. Because it doesn't matter where it's from. Don't matter who makes it. You just enjoy
Your
it.
granny's smokier than more.
My granny.
Yeah. If she's looking down a bunch of 60-year-olds going, I'm fucking out with the oldies today, and she's
Smell
102.
Honestly,
102.
or taste that.
Colin's granny is smokier than a bit more.
I really like the taste of this whiskey though.
It's nice. It's nice having a random fucking mystery. No,
Uh-huh.
no build up. No fucking Rachel Barry.
This has been
God bless her
12
soul.
years. Yes.
She's not
Okay,
dead.
She's not dead.
Yeah, but so though. You know, rest
dead to us at Bowmore.
in peace, Rachel Barry. You know, take it easy.
I think most people that die do take it easy, right?
It was the enjoyment of the power over people when we were tour guides.
Well, I still get that.
Yeah,
So,
briefly. Or
generally, right?
Dominatrix.
You see when people are gathering and they're like, I booked this tour. And then you emerge from the absolute ashes and you're like, hi everybody,
ashes.
I'm Kat and I'm on the 2 o'clock tour today. And everyone
I'm fucking
assembles
doing you.
around you.
I'm gonna do you.
I'm going to do you. But you know what the thing is? It's a lovely feeling. But they are all almost on their knees.
Glued.
They're worshipping. They're bowing before you. And you're just like, come on, I'm going to show you this badass distillery.
Yeah.
And because I have pride in it. You guys had pride in Bonnahaven. There's no denying
didn't.
that we have pride in the places that we
Hey.
work for.
Settle
Come
down
on now.
And I like to be, it's not a case of like worship. There's not really a power dynamic here because you want, if anything, to tell them that your distillery is the best. I'm very funny about this. I'm open about this. Bowmore, by the way, is the oldest distillery in Islay and it's the best, as you'll soon find out. And then you go on that kind of note. And then you've got these people who, honestly, some of them have lived in whatever country they live in. They've spent 3 or 4 years, especially since lockdown, having wanted to come over here. So they're taking you in absolute rapture. They're looking and they're
taking you in rapture.
oh, I love it. I love that side of it. I'm obviously moving to the warehouses, but I love
Fuck
the
'em.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have control issues.
I do. I like all that. But the actual tourist, like as I say, these brilliant people, and some from
riveted, aren't they? Just
America
riveted.
yesterday, and they're like, "You're the best." I don't care about I'm the best. This distillery is the best. It's class. You're standing in a warehouse that's blooming 250 years old, and you're
Fucking old.
talking about whiskey,
Yeah.
and you want them to feel that power. So whether it comes through you, or it comes from the distillery, or it comes from the whiskey itself, I get the power dynamic.
It's
And
there. For
I
sure.
and when
It's
it comes to my
undeniable.
own team, I love my team, but I'm the one who wants to be requesting to go to Sweden. I want to be going to London to do this and that and the other thing. Everybody wants to have this little up on everyone else. Surely
Talking of
it's
Sweden,
natural.
did Dave just go to Sweden? Was that Sweden?
I got requested for all sorts of things. I got one from Ireland and a couple from Germany, and I can't remember where
Who
else.
would
but
request you?
I can understand that. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, but even with myself,
No, why?
even with myself, it stood out against some of the other distilleries on the island.
Yeah, totally.
It just seemed to play out that way. It's like, do you know what I got? It's like, you're the most plausible we've had. That's what I got.
Because you don't really give the shit. You're just like, and this is what we're doing, and let's just chat about this. I've always enjoyed a warehouse chat with Rodney. Rodney is the person I've most what's it called? Requested.
Classical?
Requesticled
That's an
over all
interesting
my
idea.
time. But whereas Dave is undoubtedly the most knowledgeable person I know.
Let's straight up say that.
She just did.
Eventually, this episode will go out. If you finally manage to see it 3 days before Cat finishes, hurry down and scurry down to Bowmore, because that's the end of Cat.
Yeah.
Because
It's not the Cat.
because
Jesus Christ, make her like
because
she's
Cat
fucking
Gordon,
being executed.
Cat Gordon is Bowmore's Dave Brody.
Well, at the moment, but I'm
And
moving
Dave
into the
Dave Orton
warehouse.
thinning on top.
Listen, I've got
Oh,
plenty
that's
to share.
lustrous. Oh no, fuck yeah, that's some
I've-
L'Oreal
I mean, that
shit
was
right
like a bloody Head and Shoulders advert, that was just then.
I've got plenty to share, guys.
there. Fuck all that. I'm going
I
with
love all
L'Oreal,
this, but it's class. Like the job I have just now is undoubtedly the best I'll feel about the power I can give to people. I'm about to go into a job that's immersive in myself, that is just about filling casks, stirring casks, filling brand new warehouses with Lafroig and Bowmore whiskey.
There's more to it than that.
And yeah,
There is, but the customer...
But it's about you.
it's
Yeah.
about me,
And
exactly.
it
You know what
doesn't
it's
matter.
tasting like? I'm definitely thinking like Bruichladdich Port Charlotte. I think this tastes to me like a Port Charlotte 10.
We
Yeah,
don't have
I'm
much.
not sure.
Bruichladdich,
We've got a-
because Dave Brody kind of machine gunned our love of Bruichladdich.
Bruichladdich, I'm
Yeah.
a bit the same. It's not my favourite.
There's people watching.
Sorry about that, everybody. I love Bruichladdich. Don't you love Bruichladdich?
You remember when they were all blue and fucking a porn star fucking blue?
Tiffany blue.
You've got some notes of Bruichladdich
Yeah,
on your cap.
Yeah.
Tiffany blue.
I like my hat.
It's good to that. It's
No,
good.
you know what's cool?
Uh-huh.
So at Bowmore, we're in a partnership with Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And I drive that Aston quite often.
How's your car going?
My actual car or the Aston Martin?
Aston Martin.
The Aston Martin's going really well.
Yeah.
Cat's
We're-
car's in the garage.
Yeah, my car's a pile of shit. But the content.
Yeah,
But the Aston Martin is going really, really well.
Fuck yeah.
And we did an Aston Martin training course the other day with
What does that
people
mean?
who are sat working for Aston Martin chatting to us. But cool, we had a historian on Aston Martin. But also, I found out that the
Swipe left?
colour
How does that work?
of the Bowmore Aston Martin DBX is called Bowmore Blue.
Uh-huh.
And it has actually been used once before in an Aston Martin because they name their colours after places.
Please.
So the Bowmore Blue is a colour they've used before, and of course because it was the Bowmore Aston Martin, they replicated it, which is magic. I think that's quite cool. Bowmore?
Where had it been used before?
It was used in the DB5 series.
With Bowmore?
No, that's the thing. It was because they name a lot of their colours after places in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got a bloody,
Partick
card used to yellow.
Courtesy yellow.
Falkirk brown. Lovely.
Dundee red. DBX. Bowmore Blue.
Bowmore Blue.
18 cars in all the world. And I drove one to work yesterday.
You're not really in the picture, Colin.
I don't want to be. You always cut one of us out.
Sit in a way that's natural to you.
I'm gangsta, bitch. I want to be part of that.
Fucking clown. Absolute clown. He's talking serious for 10 minutes just to say, I can't remember what I was going to say. 10 minutes we had to listen to that.
Perfect.
Oh,
Cat!
Watch yourself,
oh. Right, it's
Don't
fine.
smack your skull off the fucking...
Careful, woman.
I'm okay, I'm okay. I'll be back.
10 fucking minutes you took then. Just to say I don't know what I was going to say.
Ah, yes.